What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part, I want to say 16 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Wulfrik Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Throg and Verpelsmark had a disgusting little tag team and obliterated the army of, I forgot his name, but it was the Challenger of Khorne. Now Wulfrik is heading towards the Challenger of the Serpent, Slaanesh, and will hopefully knock that out today. At least that's the plan. In terms of what we gotta do this turn, I don't believe that there's actually anything. We've no money, we've no anything, so I guess we can just skip and end the turn and see what we have to see. Alright, Ice Court still on speeds. By the time we get to their settlement there, it'll probably have at least a decent, let's say, garrison, but once again, now that we have the Ice-Forged Legion in this army, we can simply knock the walls down, if needed, rather than necessarily bothering with the reverse siege. Carl will declare war on us. That's fine. We were going to declare war on him anyway. Go for it, Carl. Sure, man. Why not? Honestly, it's probably good for us. He has strength rank 3, so he is liable to offer us at least a decent fair few battles in some point in time. Probably more for Surtha at this time, at least until Wulfrik comes around. Frozen Landing. You have discovered a Cathayan trading caravan on your last arrival has... Oh, I was going to destroy that caravan. Well... Interesting. And oh, you little, he jumped over. Not bad. Huba's Soul Shredder completed his journey. Go here. We should still be able to declare war, and even if you run, I think we should be able to chase you down. You go here, then we'll declare war on this guy. We can't leave a frickin' beastman herd raiding our territory. Declare war, yeah, sure, ask our allies to help. Feckin' Knights are happy about it, and this guy is most certainly not. Hit him now with both armies. Probably wouldn't fight this. Ooh, wait. Go from this angle instead. And try to move him towards Slith. Alrighty. And it looks like we're good. Slith, you can actually reach him. Beautiful. So I'll put you both here. This should be auto-resolvable, I'd wager. You guys are reinforcing, right? I can't see their frickin' arrows. Go here. 1 and 2, good. And obviously low casualties, just a bunch of garbage Ungors, we're not gonna bother fighting that. And we'll sacrifice those captives. No more beastmen here, please. Faction destroyed, free Tormentor Sword, free Marauder Brute, free Relic Sword, which can hopefully be turned into a not useless weapon. And we're good. Alrighty, now, Slith. You can actually start traveling southward and probably moving to the retrofit area to get a proper army. Not that your piles of Fimir aren't proper army, mind you, but it's not like you have anywhere to go right now. I mean, I suppose we could send you southward to the Blasted Lands and to deal with Grimgor, but frankly, in your current state, your army's probably going to be too weak to deal with it. Wulfrik, you are headed to here and just taking a look if there are any islands that you need to grab. There is one here, so I guess that's the one we're going to head towards. And then we'll land right at Winterpire and move to Fator the Serpent right after. Oh, we got to prepare Wulfrik's retrofit. He's going to be here rather soon. And he's not going to be happy if the retrofit isn't complete by the time he gets here, so you got to pay attention to that. Delman Ingerson and Ellen Delling. Man, these guys are locked in an eternal war. Hama Thanefrost. Grab these 4 whalers and these 4 marauder horses. Those are going to our ranged army. And then start moving down south with them, as you will be acting the ferry for this particular set of troops. Surtha's fine. Looks like these guys have captured Forkburg Bray, and since these guys declared war on us, Surtha should be easily able to raise Aleheart. Hopefully it doesn't do too much damage to us. Okay, it really badly hurt one of the Marauder Isolf chariots. It hurt the Secret chariots less surprising. It also hurt the rest of our troops, but you know. Raise for the Serpent. And Butcher Forbidden Rod, very, very nice. Marauder Chariot and Marauder Chariot for the 2 mages. I'm not actually 100% sure whether we want them on the chariots or not. We'll keep them on them for now, but it does make them a lot more fragile, which is potentially concerning. Alright, Kathik still hanging around but having to attack Longyi, which is good for us as it'll give us another opportunity to build the Chieftain's Hall, but we'll see if What are you doing? We'll see if we need to build... Okay, now we got one more turn on the Dark Furnace. And wait, Dark Furnace tier 3 is the max for you? Yeah, it's the max for you anyway. I guess in theory you could have just replaced... Huh. Like we could take out this Plunder Hole and build another Dark Furnace here, although that would cripple the growth in this particular territory. I'll think about it. For now, we're fine. Throggy. Quick little second of Grom Peak, I think, and so Vladdy is back. We don't have his defeat trait on you, do we, Throg? I don't think so. Butcher, Vampire Slayer, Dwarfen Dreadslayer, Kingslayer, Red Dead. No, we do not. Alrighty, meaning... Well, I guess Purple Smirk will get it. Purple Smirk, move out here to... Oh, right. Alright, Lamandal, leave the settlement. Go into encamp stance. Purple, move in march stance. Enter Castle Drakenhof. I don't think this guy's gonna attack us unless he gets another army here. There's no way he wins against Purple Smirk. Speaking of Purple Smirk, you want to get Curse of the Leper because it's fantastic. In fact, I think we gotta put 2 points into it. We already have a base version of Stream of Corruption, although we can't overcast it. And yeah, fine, get the second point so that you can overcast it. You do have decent mana and a Forbidden Rod. After all, Throggy, hit the Grom Peak, please. 4K. Almost tempted to just straight up raise it so that we can move. How much of the movement range did that take? I did take most of your movement range. Alright, you know what? We'll move you here, Ballfish. Alefish. Whatever. We'll sack this and we'll stay here for 1 turn. Sack, auto-resolve, obviously. And sack the place. And we'll raise it for the server next turn. Glittering Scales, very nice. And go into Raid and Camp. This will give you money, and this will allow you to full HP, and then Bellfish will be able to take this place. Get yourself a Root Marcher as well. Also, the Root Marcher will allow you to move a little bit further. Good job. Alrighty, who is up next on the menu? Morkaka. You, I guess, are going to... This guy's here again. If we manage to sack this guy will take it. Is it worth sacking? 6.3k, it's most definitely worth sacking. Alright. You... What do we have here? So you have Hulks of Death. I don't know whether you're keeping the Manticores. You very well could. It depends on what we do with the other Femir army. Oh, we also need to get you... Okay, we need to get a bunch of heroes for a bunch of armies, actually, now that I think about it. Well, this isn't going to be too useful for us right now. You already have Hail of Teeth for the Manticores and Monsters of the North, so just get Icy Wrath, why not? Buff up the Manticores. We're probably going to keep them in here, especially since Femir, while they can't buff them, they can reduce the and they can reduce their upkeep via the Beast Tamer trait. And it's not like we're going to be using a lot of them in Throggy's army, so yeah. Anyway, Burning Head doubling up and Kindle Flame, please. And I guess we're heading on in. Alright, now these guys do have pretty decent defenses, but... it's also just basic troops. I think we don't need to bother. Auto-resolve? We can find better fights. I want that Serpent battle. Alright, sack this. 90... No, oh, damn, I didn't stop you moving. Don't bother with the Slave Worker, because we can give that to somebody else. Go into Raiden Camp, and stay right here at the edge of this territory. Assuming that these guys will take it, but that's fine. Worth it to get the money, as we need the money for recruitment purposes. Lamandal, you're good where you are. Olaf Fimerkin, you are headed down to Serena Katrin, to Karak Kadrin, to destroy her faction for good. Probably she won't be back. And afterwards, most likely, we'll send Olaf back around to start dealing with Grimgor and such. Grimgor, I think, would make a pretty good hunt, after all. For the Marauder Hunters. Olaf, stay here, at least until you can... Oh, you can start recruiting regular chariots now. There's only potential for it. If he's going to act as a reinforcement army for Sirtha Ag, he should just have a pile of Marauder chariots together with a pile of Marauder Horsemasters, which is what we'll do once we have spare money for you. Recruiter Ragnarsson, you will be recruiting, but we'll just give it a minute. And hello. Dripping thanks of a decent army here. Alright, now, what I would like you to do is to move all the way... No, don't trespass. I want you to identify these guys. Alright, how are we looking here? Minus 71. I see that Imric and Blue Roses are still alive. It's worth about 8.1, eh? Alright, we'll stay friendly with them. I just wanted to see what they were doing, and they are looking pretty strong at the current time. 9 settlements, or at the very least, unlikely to die. You... I mean, whose territory is this? Legion of Asgore? I mean, we probably shouldn't leave this army down here. Go back through the Euskali Canal. Mostly I just wanted to meet this faction. Alrighty. And then that army will be returned to our friends there. And next up, the tech thieves. Let's see if you can thief some tech successfully. Camper bad for you, sir. The heck is the Nemesis crown, damn it. Wulfrik is getting closer. I don't want it to disappear, and I forgot where the other tech thief was, somewhere up here. Go to Salzenmund. 9. 9 still? Ugh. How many turns we have this? 1. How much at Lorelorn? 7. Middenheim? 7. Yeah, I guess we should start moving down here. And just start on it. This will also power up our Manticores and Chaos Frost Dragons. That's not bad. Alrighty, next up, building. Hopefully we'll have enough money remaining after this said building to do a decent bit of recruitment. You're going to get that offering to war. Troll Country, you're going to get the... Yeah, go for the Chieftain's Hull and another offering to war. Eastern Oblast, you're going to go for Plusk upgrade and nothing to do there. Wait. There is another Cave of Dark offerings, however, so we'll do that. Vanaheim Mountains, we got all the new stuff. So Damned Longhouse, Shamanic Pyre, most definitely the Unholy Site for more troll capacity, as we are going to need trolls for both Surthak and for Thragi. And you'll probably want to build at least a few of these, but for now, go for that first stash for the additional cash. Alright, and it looks like, after the Longship Husk and after the Chaos Totem, assuming that there isn't a lot of stuff to build here, which by the looks of it there isn't, we should still be able to recruit stuff. Alright, good. Slaver's Camp, and last... I guess once again here we're going to go Loot Pile. Just temporarily, at least until we get to Tier 4. Well, actually, you know what? Here we could do the Offering to Slaughter instead. And we could do the Offering to Slaughters here as well as the Loot Pile without having to rebuild too many things. I think I prefer that. Anyway, Recruiter Agnarsson. What we need to do is recruit 5 Norscan Ice Trolls for Throg. We probably won't have enough capacity for it. We could do those, but we also need other stuff for him, so we can't do it in one turn. The Marauder Champions are actually quite cheap, so maybe we do the Marauder Champions instead, because Wulfrik is coming along as well. So, the question is, how many Marauder Champions do we need? So let's say 2 of the regular ones. Maybe 4 of the regular ones. Well, he's already got 1, and you know what? Let's do 4 Marauder Champions with great weapons. 2 of them will be replaced by Huskarls, and then 2 will be kept as regular ones. That kind of makes sense to me. Yeah. Then we'll get Wulfrik. Oh, I was about to say 3 Whalers, but we won't have enough room to build all of them at once unless we use global recruitment. That takes 4 turns. Alright, well, he's going to take a while to get here anyway, so we'll do another Whaler on the moon. And then afterwards we'll need to build him some Skin Wolves. Armored Skin Wolves, that is. Yeah. Alright. Alright, Wulfrik is up next. And I believe we're good to go for the next turn, are we not? Yes, we are. Alright, Garrison, unassigned skill point, double check the Diplo just in case. I don't imagine that there should be anything of consequence here. I would actually like to trade with the Legion of Asgore. Though it looks like they're having somewhat of a difficult time against Imric and the Caravan of Blue Roses. But fair enough. The rest of this is irrelevant to us. Not going to peace out with any of these guys, I'd wager, unless you want to be our vassal there, Serena Katrin, for another try, but alas, not the case. How much money would you offer us? 845, are you mad? No. And 842, wow, Grimgor is similarly poor. That's a shame. Alright, well, then we'll end the turn, and we'll hopefully proceed towards Fator the Serpent. Don't know whether we can actually reach him this turn, but, well, let's find out. Alright, let's also see if Vlad attempts to attack the little army outside of Castle Drakenhof and draw Burplesmirk into a fight. We also got to get Burplesmirk a proper sort of set of units, but, well, we're retrofitting everyone right now, so one at a time. We just don't have the money to retrofit multiple armies at once, essentially. one by one. Slow and steady. Besides, we'll have plenty of time while Wulfrik and Serpent both journey southward. Alright, Challenger the Serpent, and oh, this thing's back up. Last time we did the trade with the Chaos Dwarfs, which does have that construction cost and construction time for buildings, and I'm inclined to say I'd like to do that again, because we are still building up a lot of structures right now, and we now have a Chaos Dwarf and vassal, so Chaos Dwarfs. Alright, Creator, trade with the Chaos Dwarfs, lovely. Wulfrik, you are going to hit the shipwreck. And then you are going to explore the island, you're going to auto-resolve it. A little bit of damage, but not really consequential. We'll sacrifice the captives nonetheless, because we need it for recruitment purposes. Get materials at sea. Yes, Wulfrik. I'm glad you came here. And that's why you take a nice journey, because you get materials at sea. Anyway, you can hit the Winter Pyre, and in fact, in March stance, you could probably go to the Altar of Spawns, and then next turn, start the day off by attacking Fator the Serpent. Beautiful. Alright, we just gotta get there this episode. And we gotta do it quick, because these half-hour episodes go by really, really quick. You... Slith are kind of doing the same thing. In fact, maybe go out to sea this way. You're kind of following where Wulfrik is going to get your retrofit. Out to sea, please. And move. And then you guys are doing the same thing. Go out to sea. And move, and then you go out to sea and move. Huh, why can an Ormgard move so much further than Stig Azing? Do you have a Mountain Scout, perhaps? Might be the case. There you go. And you go as well. Alright, lovely. And Sertha. Is there an army nearby to contest us now? Don't see one at the current time, so in theory we could move deeper into the Imperial territories. We do need to take Altdorf, but I don't think Sertha is going to be capable of it until he gets his retrofit. And just sort of slowly but surely move around here. Move towards Ubersreich, I guess. Ah, there is an army here. You're kind of unsupported right now, Sertha, be careful. Oh, you know what, I think we sack or raise one more territory and then we have to get back to Kurun. The thing is, I'm 100% sure that that Lewin is coming back shortly, and we'll have to deal with him. Or else he retakes Kurun. At least for now. When it's level 4, that won't be possible, but for now it remains such. And now, Ogre's still running around here, cute. Oh! Ah. If we take Grom Peak... I wonder if we could vassalize these guys. They don't... Oh, wow, they hate us. Why? They don't like the treaties with all the Chaos factions? Why do they care? Ogres shouldn't have aversion to Chaos. In fact, they think that Chaos gifts are fine. Yeah, it's a very minor... Oh, wait, that's a backwards aversion. Huh. That's unfortunate. I was going to attempt to vassalize you. It might still, in theory, be possible. The aversion is small, minus 288. It's mostly treaties with other factions, but if they were vassalized, it could possibly work. Or we could just ignore him and let him die. How many territories does he have? 7. What's the likelihood he maintains his... he maintains a high-level camp and actually gets us access to his units? I'm gonna say relatively low. Yeah, you know what, we can try it later. I'm not sure that we care right now. Go here to Grom Peak. And auto-resolve, for obvious reasons, down stone, and raise 4 once again. The Serpent, and don't move that way, Egg. Alright, down stone for Balefish, no thank you. Keep the Mountain Scout, though. Power Stone as well, nice. Alrighty, next up, Thruggy. Fastest way to Karak Dromar appears to be this way. Alright, and then you two can sit around for a bit. Yeah, nothing out of this is thing that we want to get into Burplesmirk's army. Alright, Balefish, you're going here. Olaf, you will probably have to besiege Karak Kadrin for at least a turn. Ooh, decent sack value out of it, though. Alright, and Pyrrhic victory, but, you know what? That's a decent amount of troops they might actually be willing to sally out and attack us. And if they are, I'd be very happy about it, because I'd rather fight the battle on the field where the enemy at least has something of a chance. More caca. You also need your retrofit. I'm a little bit wary of moving you around and just attacking stuff. Mostly because you could potentially get ripped apart by something with your army not being full. You know what? Move out here past Zavastra. In fact, stay near Zavastra like this. It'll allow you to heal up. and then maybe hit Wolfenburg for a decent amount of sack value, plus it'll allow you to hang around close to where our retrofits are coming from, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. You, I'm a Thane Frost, you're going to try to land in Erengrad, and get that stuff to our ranged army. Alright, Recruiter Ragnarsson, you have no additional spaces to recruit, but that's fine. Kuchar, you're going to be waiting here until you get your troops. Wulfrik, you're waiting to fight the Serpent, which is why I'm trying to go through this turn so fast. And the rest of this is good. Olaf is good. Yeah, just hit a Kurun for now. Purple Smirk is good. Kuchar, oh, I'd already checked you, buddy. Tech Thieves. Thieve some tech for us, would you? I mean, nobody better take Altdorf from us. We need that. I mean, I'm not sure that we actually do, as in I don't remember whether it's a good tech from it or not. And ooh, one more turn until the monster hunts are unlocked again. We've been waiting for that. Yes, please. All right, and that's the Tech Thieves move. Next, we got building. Not that there's much by the looks of it. Ah, more troll capacity. Eastern Oblast, let's go for the Offering to Slaughter and the Slavers Camp, and then get ourselves another nice Warhound Kennels. Missed something at the Vanaheim Mountains. Ah, another one of these Beast Tanners. Good. Blackblood Pass. Go for another House of the Shunned. Marches of Kurun. Yeah, go for it. Build up the Chieftain's Hall. Skull Road. Another Offering to War. And last, Sylvania. Castle Drakenhof. Yes to the Skull-Laden Embankment. Yes to the Plunder Hall for the growth. And I guess get the Cultist Camp with gold. I mean, it's something. I would have rather built something that gives you a garrison, but if we have the gold, we might as well use it. It doesn't give us much money, but that's actually surprising, and I think it's not entirely right. Norskans love gold. They really, really do. They act as mercenaries for pretty much anybody. It does depend on the Norscan tribe, but certain Norscan tribes will literally fight for anybody who's willing to pay them. So I see where some of the Norscan things don't produce a lot of stuff as compared to other factions, but I feel like the gold is something they'd really enjoy, at least in my opinion. But anyway, we do have a little bit of money remaining. There's a couple things that we want to do still. Let's get a couple more Shaman Sorcerers. I wish it weren't so expensive, but damn. Ah, miscast Base Chance and Power Stone? It's not bad. Is it better than the Bound Spirit Leech, though? I really like the Bound Spirit Leech on the Death Sorcerers. Oh, also we gotta figure out what kind of sorcerers we put in Kuchar's army with those skin wolves. Do we go for Ephemer Dirach, or do we go for Shaman Sorcerers? And the thing is, the Shaman Sorcerers of Metal, they would allow us to do the glittering robe on the piles of skin wolves, which would be nice. Shaman Sorcerer of Death, however, would allow us to go for the Soul Blight. As for the Dirox, the Fire, not as good, I think. Shadows. We could get Occam's Mind Razor to power up the entire army. The thing is, the Dirox would give you regeneration, or not regeneration, casualty or punishment rate, and another thing about them is that they can go into stock. On the other hand, I'm not opposed to the idea of Kuchar having a sort of personal death shaman. Just to target single entities. Or a metal shaman to metal up those skin wolves. They're not even just the skin wolves, but the much more fragile Norscan ice wolves as well. And we do have another corrupt blood one here. So I guess that's the question. Glittering robe with the physical and missile resistance versus the variant that gives us the dreaded plus the bound Spirit Leech for single entities. Plus it does give us the, you know what, I like the Soul Blight. I mean, I think they're both good options. Let's do you. Let's see, you can pop into that army. Next up, we'll probably need a couple more Tech Thieves, so... character experience gain per turn, I think that works nicely for a Tech Thief. Chaotic Instincts, go for you. And set out to sea immediately, so I don't forget who you are. Tech Thief... Tech Thief the Lustful. Alrighty, what about you guys? Anybody with... Chaos Corruption is fine, but I was looking for more... I'm gonna do you, Enemy Magic... Power Reserve, and go for it. Ravaged by Chaos. I don't want to spend all our money on heroes, but I do want to spend enough so that we get decent mileage out of the Tech Thieves. Alright. that looks good. Now, Kuchar, you have enough of your heroes, and assuming that we don't bother with the D-Rock, we can hold off. Recruiter Ragnarsson is fine. Does anybody else here need heroes? Now, Morkaka has a Fimir Balefiend of Fire, but this Balefiend of Fire is actually supposed to head down southward to Throggy, which I forgot about because I'm stupid. Let's get you out of this army. And head you down to Throggy. Yeah, Throggy's current Balefiend of Fire has that deranged mind trait, which we will want to get up to the other... we'll send up to Morkaka. That means we'll need another D-Rock of the Shadow variety. Hopefully, let's see, a Ritual of Alacrity, Esteemed D-Rock. We could do an Esteemed D-Rock for you. Go for it. Alright, nice. And that'll be the 2 for you. That's for Morkaka. Then... Lith Wallbreaker, you have 2 spaces in your army specifically for a D-Rock, but you are already moving towards our territory, so we don't necessarily have to do it now, which means we can skip, and end the turn. Hope I didn't overspend on the cash there. And they will indeed sally out. I'm very happy I didn't go for the siege battle, because we get a nice, fine field battle as the last stand of the Kislevites. Man... Gestalten, you doomed them all. Everything that was once Kislev is now a ruin.
Begin the butchering!
Alright, here we go. Karak Kadrin, the last stronghold of the Kislevites. They desperately flee the now destroyed lands of Kislev and attempt to hold back the tide of the Norskans in a hollowed out dwarfen mountain hole. The Karak had already fallen to works and now lay empty, and now it will be empty once more. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off as we usually do with the good old-fashioned bombardment from that Iceforged Legion and a good old-fashioned Gehenna's Golden Hounds on one of the flanks. We can see them jumping around and frolicking through the enemy troops in the background. Alrighty, and well, the enemy has time to get to us, but better hurry or else it'll take a lot of damage from that Iceforged Legion. Well, they should have learned from battles past that this artillery piece is certainly not to be trifled with. That said, the enemy is, I don't know if this is smart or not, it's moving its entire army in a sort of big old line. This does mean that it makes it less likely for our mages and the Iceforged Legion to hit multiple units at once. However, it also means that at least, let's say, some percentage of the enemy army won't be able to get to us and won't be able to fire at the same time as the frontliners are. That delay may be costly for the enemy. Now, the enemy... Oh, wow, I got one flying. Well, the enemy moves forward with some armored Kossars and some Streltsy. And we're going to distract them with our Lord and our Weirkin to stop them from firing while our units of Marauder Axes move on in. Of course, under covering fire from the Javelins, and then the Javelins will have axes follow them. Follow them. Follow them. Please throw your axes. Alright, come on now. Come on, guys. There you go. It didn't have to be that difficult. Anyway, ooh, the throwing axes and javelins reaping an absolutely fearsome tally among the regular unarmored Kossars. A couple of volleys from either one of those units is probably going to destroy them, and the Streltsy are done, and the Kossars here are just about 30% of their HP. Going to drop another spell on the enemy, even as the Iceforged Legion continues to bombard this flank, and these guys came in a little bit too late and a little bit too blobby, and are going to suffer for it. A bloody end for those 3 or 4 units, and those who are still holding on due to buy our blood are continuing to take axe and javelin to the face and frankly every part of their body. It's not a pleasant sort of thing. But anyway, now finally it's time for a little bit of action for our... Oh, that was such a cool... I don't even have words. That was a really cool charge. So the Marauder horses charge through the line of the Kossars with sabers and shields, who have their special ammunition, their little mini blasting charges, and it just looked like there were explosions as the horsemen charged. Frankly, it was pretty awesome. I enjoyed it very much. Anyway, it does look like a few Kislevites are rushing from out of those trees, the other flanking enemies, and it does look like they, unlike the sort of center portion of the enemy line, are able to close at the distance. There are still Streltsian Kossars in the trees as well, firing away, but they're allowing their melee units to get destroyed, and now the Iceforged Legion has found their range and will be focusing them as well. Back here, an enemy Boyar gets ripped apart by Javelin and by the Spirit Leech, while another Boyar fights bravely against the Werkin and the two mages, but won't be doing so for too much longer. Alright, and by the looks of it, the battle is pretty much ours. Because of the sort of line formation that the enemy held, it turned out to be a little bit more hectic than I was expecting, but pleasantly so. I really enjoyed that charge through the middle of our formation, which is why we left a gap right in the middle of the formation to allow our units to charge. The reason they weren't harassing the enemy is obviously the fact that this is a Kislevite army, and being a hybrid army, they pretty much all have range attacks, and, well, harassing them with the range cap just wouldn't have worked all that well. And, there are indeed a couple more latecomers to the battlefield, but they'll be leaving right quick. Not sure those shields are going to help all that much against that number of axe and javelin, and besides, the Iceforged Legion is still there, providing support. Too bad the enemy had nothing to run towards it. And okay, that one's going to sail over, but not to worry, we've got more shots where that came from. And I gotta point out, in the various battles that the Iceforged Legion has been fighting, it certainly hasn't seemed to be running out of ammunition. It's still got plenty. I was thinking certainly fire for a long time. Anyway, with that, I do believe the last of the Bayar blood will ran out and the enemy will finally shatter. I suppose in this one case, Bayar blood actually worked at least somewhat in their favor, because since their faction will be destroyed after this, oh wow, very nice shot. Since their faction will be destroyed after this, them losing additional units due to that 30 seconds unbreakable from Bayar blood would not have annoyed us all that much. In other situations, I mean. And this one, they don't really care about their losses or the additional losses simply because they're done for. Anyway, goodbye to the last army of Kislev. Darn, so close, so close to killing them all, but one unit managed to make its escape because it wasn't deployed properly and was left at the edge of the map rather than move towards us. But oh well, what can you do? We'll sacrifice those captives. Once again, great job to this army. You'd think, once again, that this army would take a ton of damage fighting this, but, well, they're still holding on and they're still thriving. Well done to the range army. Happy we built that one. Anyway, let's see if anybody else attempts to attack us. We certainly don't have time to fight 2 more battles, but if nobody else does, we'll jump immediately in to the fight against Fator the Serpent, which is what I'm hopeful for. Grimgor is going to want peace, and probably if we don't peace out with him, he'll start moving towards our allies, but, well, that's life. Grommy wants a non-aggression pact. I'm gonna say no right now. It depends. We might not. The thing is, the Chaos Dwarfs will hate any orc that we ally with, and frankly, it might have been a mistake to ally with the Bloody Hands, but oh! Fator will attack us himself. Oh, because he was trying to go for Wulfrik, which means we're going to have to fight him in March stance, which should make this battle more difficult, though on the other hand, we have the settlement garrison as well, so, maybe not. Anyway, it looks a valiant defeat, eh? We'll see about that. Go.
They stand trembling over there with their champion, still trying to summon more help. May the battlefield be soaked red with their blood!
You know, I'm not 100% sure that they stand trembling over there and asking or trying to summon more help, considering the fact that they attacked us. But anyway, this may be the best opportunity they were going to get, as the champion of the Hound has been brought low, and it's time to do the same to the champion of the Serpent. However, because they attacked us while we're in march stance, they should have a little bit of a stronger chance. On the other hand, however, because we have a garrison here, we can keep Wulfrik's somewhat damaged and tired army back, hidden in the trees, while we start the battle off with the well, not summoned units, but the garrison units, and do additional damage to the enemy army using Manny, Wulfrik, Soul Crusher, and Fenrir's Chosen, and Fimra, our Balefiend. In the meantime, Wulfrik will just move through the entire enemy army. He has a champion in his sights, and he damn well is going towards... Oh, wow! The Mammoth sends a Chaos Spawn flying across the battlefield. Fantastic. I always love seeing monstrous infantry get sent flying by gigantic units. Anyway, looks like they are blocking Wulfrik off, but he has stopped the enemy lord from moving away with the Hunter of Champions ability and is heading towards him. Of course, Wulfrik will be focused down by a lot of units at the same time, but, well, he's got to do what he's got to do. Now we've dropped Gehenna's Golden Hounds on the two enemy Hell Cannons, and they are completely done, which means the rest of our army can now approach without fear of being damaged by the Hell Cannons. Soul Crusher wades on into the enemy Chosen, who are attempting to hold back the line, and surprisingly, looks like not a single Chosen rather died to a swipe of those massive tusks. Not to worry though, tusk swipes are cheap. Soul Crusher has them for days. And once again, you gotta love the battlefield view from on top of a mammoth. These guys probably are just having the time of their lives. It's essentially the Norscan equivalent of a land ship, isn't it? A land ship, the units up there just chucking their stuff down. The Howdah and the Mammoth, kind of similar, and is kind of like a ship looking like. At least the shape of this particular Howdah is. Anyway, looks like the Fenrir's Chosen has waited on in. We're going to be a little bit careful as it is now surrounded by enemy knights, but it is keeping them distracted while the javelins get to work. And our Marauder Hunters with javelins, the regular ones from the garrison, which only hit for 36, are about to be joined by Wulfrik's personal Marauder Hunters with javelins, which hit more than, well, not more, but 3 times as hard, which... it's pretty darn nasty. 101 missile strength on a unit with 100 units is insane. It's absolutely insane. And so those Chaos Knights, well, they're not going to have a good day. Anyway, how's Wulfrik back here? He's taken about half of his HP, and damage Chosen with great weapons have been hitting him this entire time at the legs of his mammoth, all the while he's been fighting the enemy lord. But you gotta suffer for many things. You gotta suffer for fashion, and you gotta suffer for, you know, being a duelist, the champion of the gods, etc. And the Chaos Lord is down to 682 HP. Wulfrik is still there. Get a couple more hits. And, oh, no, that didn't do it. 20 HP. Come on now. Oh, my lord. Now that's how you take out a champion. He is not gonna get back up from that one. That's absolutely disgusting. I thought it was a Nurglite champion, considering, but anyway, because it looked like it exploded into a pile of pus at the same time as blood, but anyway, well, who knows what's up with Slaaneshi. Anyway, the bounce power is at about 80% in our favor, and though Wulfrik is hurt, he's not so hurt that it's going to be all that bad. The enemy is still fighting, and they do have a ton of Chosen and Chaos Warriors on the field, but they are being held back by the Marauders, while the Mammoths continue to do their work. And now that our more elite units have joined the garrison forces, which have taken the brunt of the enemy assault, they're here to dish out the damage and lay the rest of the enemy low. Oh, look at those axes flies. Alright, and the Manny working together with Wulfrik now. And it looks like the Chosen and the Chaos Warriors are booking it on out of there, or at least starting. That unit of Chosen is still attempting to whack away at Wulfrik, but it looks like they're going to break, and with them, the rest of the battle will be ours. Just the Chaos Spawn remain, as they always do. And only one challenger will remain. You get him, Soul Crusher. You did great work. There you go, knocking all 3 of the Chaos Spawn down. That was pretty neat. And let's see, yeah, you're not doing anything, the Soul Crusher. In fact, we're more likely to damage it with our own spears than the Chaos Spawn. Guys, relax with the spears, please. Guys, please. The last spawn is done, and, well, Soul Crusher can just strike a pose. Alright, a very nice fight, but I'd wager the enemy would have had a better chance if it didn't attack us with the garrison here, as we were able to use them as meat shields and more or less prevent the rest of our army from getting hurt. We did get damaged on Wulfrik, but that's because we moved him through the entire enemy army to fight the enemy lord while being attacked by Chaos Warriors or Chosen or whatever it was. So, hardly surprising, and we're in our own territory, so we should heal up nicely. Sacrifice captives, and so falls the champion of the... So falls the champion of the Serpent. Lovely. And nobody else to attack us? Freebooters. Spent multiple turns in raiding stance. Why, thank you, Sir Thak. More raiding for all. And settlement receives plague Erengrad. Yeah, sounds about right. Dave, what are you doing? I don't like how you're here. It's making me very nervous. Watch him randomly declare war on us and try to take Castle Alexandrinov. Or Erengrad. I'm almost tempted to not move out of here until Daith goes away. Hey, Kuran and Carcassonne confederated, some ally mission success, and ready for duty, Kuhar Place, which we can use as a ferry. And one of the beasts unlocks another monster hunt for us. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so the monster hunt will have to wait, and so will the hunt for the final challenger of the Eagle. And so that will be the goal next time, plus Wulfrik's retrofit, as he is 2 turns away from getting his troops, which is good because, well, they're almost built up. Anyway, more Wulfrik to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.